Now, in our last class, we started with sequence, and we look at different forms of sequence. I told you we have two types of sequences. We have finite sequence, and we also have infinite sequence. We also look at how to generate a sequence given a function or the end time of the sequence. Also, we also look at if you are not given a function, you are given a sequence, you can also generate the end terms of that sequence. And that is what we look at in our last class. Now, today, we want to move direct to another interesting area, which is the one we are familiar with, our arithmetic sequence and geometric sequence. Now, let's start. When you say arithmetic sequence, you can also call it arithmetic progression. They mean the same thing, but the familiar one is arithmetic progression. That is why we usually call it AP. We said is the one in which each term of the sequence is obtained from the preceding term by adding or subtracting a specific number called the common difference. That is, you know, the one we did the last time would not specify either is arithmetic sequence or geometric sequence, but now I want to be specific. We said an arithmetic progression or sequence is the one in which each term of the sequence is obtained from the preceding term by adding or subtracting. It means if my A1, the first term of the sequence.
I'm not hearing anything.
You are not hearing anything. You are not hearing anything. Who is not hearing anything? Can you hear me? Sulaiman Agoro. Can you hear me? Please let us respond. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Why is it now saying they are not hearing anything? Please, you guys should participate. I want it to be an interactive class. And that is the reason why I'm not muting you guys. Now, I said in our last class, we look at sequences generally. We said we have two types of sequences. We have what is called arithmetic sequences. And in the last class, we don't specify the sequence. We have types of sequences. We said we have finite and infinite. We said finite is when the number of terms is defined, while infinite, we don't know the number of terms. Also, after that, we look at how to generate sequences from given function. And also, we also look at how to get function from given sequencing. Also, in the last class, we also look at series. We said series is what? Is addition of what? The sequences. I think that is where we stop in our last class. But today, we are going to another area, which is the form of sequences we have. We have the first one, arithmetic sequences. Or they call it arithmetic progression. We said an arithmetic progression is the one in which each term of the sequences is obtained from the preceding term by adding or subtracting a specific number. What does that mean? If I said my first time of the sequence, let's assume my first time of the sequence is 2. It means the next time of the sequence is going to be, we have specific difference with when you have the third time and the second time. That is, if your first time is, let's say 2, your third time, your second time can be 3. Do you understand? If your second time is 3, what will be your fourth time? Your fourth time will be 4. It means the difference between the first time and the second time is just 1. The difference between the second time and the third time is also 1. That difference is what is called common difference. Are you with me? Are you with me? Okay. That is what is called AP, and is defined as if the general term of that is an plus 1 equals an plus d. If you know the first term and the common difference, then you can know any sequence. For you to get a sequence, what you just need to know is the first term and the what? And the common difference. That is just that. Let's look at example to showcase that. Look at this example. For each of the following arithmetic sequence, identify the first term and the common difference. What is the first term of this sequence? The first one. What is the first term? What's the first? 4. The first term is 4. Yes, thank you. Now, what is the second term?
9.
9. What is the third term?
14.
And so on. Now, for you to know, we have just, how many terms do we have? We have just 5 terms. We can know any term. If you want to know, what you just need to do is get the common difference. And what is the common difference? It's just the difference between the preceding term and the next term. That is, it can be the difference between the second term and the first term, or the difference between the third term and the what? And the second term. They must be the same. Now, what is the common difference?
5.
5. It means anytime you pick and you subtract from the preceding one, you are going to have the same common difference. The common difference is what? Is 5. If I pick 24 and 19, I will also have 24 minus 19 is going to give me what? It's going to give me 5. This type of sequence is what is called arithmetic difference. That is, the difference is what? The preceding term is by adding or subtract. It's not almost adding, no. You can also subtract. You know, first time is 4. If I add 5 to first time, I'm going to have 9. If I add 5 to the second time, I'm going to have 14. If I add 5 to 14, I'm going to have 19 and so on. If I ask you, what is the 8th term of that sequence? What is the 8th term? What is the 8th term of the sequence? That sequence. Okay, let me ask, what is the 6th term? The 6th term?
29.
29, thank you. What will be the 7th time? 34. And what's going to be the 8th term? 39. And so on. Thank you. Now, the second one, what is the first time of the second one, Roman figure 2? What is the first term?
-7.
-7, thank you. What is now the common difference?
5.
5, thank you. Plus 5, I like you. That is -2 minus -7, which is what? -2 plus 7, which is equals to 5. Do you see it?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Now, what is the third one? What is the first time of the third Roman figure 3?
6.
What is now the common difference?
-2.
-2. Thank you. It means you understand it. Now, let's now go to the nth term. Look at it now. We know how to generate sequence. Now, it now has a formula. In case you are given a particular sequence, they are now asking you a bigger sequences. Like now, if I give you the first 5 sequence now, and I ask you to get the 25 sequence, do you want to start writing it 1, 2 to 25? You are wasting your time. That is why we have a formula which is called the nth term of an arithmetic progression, or the nth term of an arithmetic sequence. And what is the nth term? The nth term of the arithmetic sequence is given by an equals a1 plus n minus 1 d. An is the term that you want to get. If I ask you to find 25 terms, it means you want to get A25. A1 is my first term. A1 is my first term, and n is the number of terms that you want to get. I said an is the term you want to get. An is the term you want to get. A1 is the first term, and n is the number of terms, and d is the common difference. If I want to get 25 terms, it means my n is going to be 25. I will have A25 equals A1 plus 25 minus 1, which is 24d. Then if I know my first time and my common difference, then it is easy for me to get what? A25. Do you understand?
Yes,
Do you
sir.
understand? Okay, let's look at
Yes, sir.
example. Look at this example now. Example 1. Find the 14th term of the arithmetic sequence. The 14th term. We are only given 4 terms. Then they ask us to find the 14th term. If you want to continue to do it, it will take you time. Just apply the formula. Now, the first thing, what is the first term? What is my A1?
4.
4. Now, what is the common difference? Common difference is difference between the term and the preceding one. 3. Thank you. Then it means my A14, the 14th time is going to be what? 4 plus, Abi? 4 plus 14 minus 1 times 3, which is 4 plus 13, 14 minus 1 is what? 13. 13 times 3 is what? 29. Eh? Is it 29? 39. 39 plus 4 will now give me what? 43. A14, the 14th time will just be what? 43. Do you understand? Let's look at the solution. This is the solution. The first term is 4, and the common difference is what? 7 minus 4. You can decide to pick 10 minus 7. You can also decide to pick 13 minus 10. You are still going to have the same thing. And the number of 10 you want to get is what? Is 14 10. Then if you substitute the formula, you are going to have, the answer will give you 43. Now, classwork. Help me to do this. Find the third term of the arithmetic sequence. Okay, the third term of the arithmetic sequence is 8. And the 16th term is what? And the 16th term is 47. Find the first term and the common difference. This is another method of finding. Sometimes you will not be given the sequence, and they will ask you to generate the sequence. And this is the type of the question. We are told that the third term of the sequence is 8. Now, for me to get the third time, what is my n? Number of time is 3. Is that not?
Yes.
Yes, my n is 3.
Yes.
Then if I substitute 3 into this question, I'm going to have A3 equals A1 plus 2D. Is that not? Equals 8. Are you with me? Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
The third time of the sequence
Yes,
will be
sir.
what? A1 plus 2D equals 8. And the 16th term will be what? A1 plus 15D equals 47. Do you see it? Then I will have two different equations. Then I will solve the two equations simultaneously.
D is 3 and A is 2.
Yes, D is 3, Abi, and A is 2, Abi.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Is it possible D is 3 and A is 2? Yeah, is it possible? Let's see. I don't know. Let's solve it. A plus 2D equals 8. A plus 15D equals 47. And let's see the solution. Okay, D is what? You said D is 3, Abi.
Yes, sir.
And A is what? A is 2.
2.
Do we all understand it?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. Now, that is how to get arithmetic sequence. That is, you want to generate other term of the sequence by giving us some few sequences. Also, you can also generate your sequence without giving any sequences. That is the example 2. Let's look at, now we are now going to another interesting area now. We want to look at some of the end term of an arithmetic sequence. What does it mean? If you remember in the last class, I said addition of sequences is what is called series. Addition of sequences is what is called series. Now, if I have sequences, like I have like, I list out 100 sequences now, and I ask you to add it together. Then you continue to add, then you are wasting your time. Without calculator, you may not be able to finish on time. But with the formula, with the sum of the end term of an arithmetic sequence formula, should be able to sum up any sequences. Now, the formula is the sum of an arithmetic sequence is equals to number of terms divided by 2 times A1, the first term plus the last term. Listen again. The sum of the arithmetic sequence is defined as number of terms divided by 2 into bracket the first term plus the last term. Now, if I substitute the formula of number of terms, I know number of last term. The last term is defined as what? A plus n minus 1d. At the end of the day, the sum of arithmetic sequence will now give me n divided by 2 into 2a plus n minus 1d. This is the formula for sum of an n term of arithmetic progression or sequence. Do you understand the formula? Is the formula clear to us?
Yes, sir.
Okay, let's now look at example on how to apply it. Look at this sequence. Find the sum of the first 15 terms of the arithmetic sequence. Find the sum of the first 15 terms of an arithmetic sequence. We can solve this question without knowing the formula, but it's going to take us time. If I can list out all the 15 terms and start adding it, then I will have the same answer. If I apply the formula, I will also have the same answer. Now, let's apply the formula. Look at the formula. What did I need from the formula? What did I need from the formula? I need number of
The
terms.
The first term and the common difference.
Thank you. What is the first term? What's the first term?
4.
4. What is this common difference?
3.
3. And what is the last term?
13.
No, the last time is not 13. The last time is 15. Want to add?
Is 15.
Yes, 13 is the fourth term. Oh, don't make a mistake. Oh, that is why I'm asking you. I want you to get it right. 13 is the fourth term. The last time is 15 because you want to add from the first time to the 15th term. Do you understand? Now, if you substitute into the formula, I'm going to have 15 divided by 2 into bracket 2 times 4 plus 14 times 3. And at the end of the day, I have my answer. Do you understand? The answer, the sum is going to give me 375. Can you see the sum? Can you see?
The sum is 375.
375. Do you understand it? Do you understand it?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Please take note. Your last term is not 13, but what? 15. 13 is just the fourth term.
I want.
We are now moving to geometric progression now. We are moving to GP. We call it geometric progression or geometric sequence. Now, a geometric progression, GP, or geometric sequence is the one in which each of the terms is obtained by multiplying the preceding term by a constant. Each of the terms is obtained by multiplying the preceding term by a constant, and this ratio is what is called ratio. Do you now see the difference between arithmetic progression and geometric progression? You see the difference. For arithmetic progression, the preceding one will be what? Addition or subtraction. While geometric will be what? Geometric will be what? Multiplication. Do you see it? Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
If the first term is A and the second term is, if the first term is AK and the next term is, the second term is AK plus 1, then the common ratio will be the second term divided by the first term. And it also must be equal to what? the third term divided by the second term. Also, it must also be equals to what? The third term divided by the second term, and so on. Now, let's look at examples. Look at these examples. We want to identify, in these examples, we want to identify the first term and the common ratio. We want to identify the first term and the common ratio. What is the first term of the first one? Sorry, who is this writing? Please erase it. Don't start what you will not finish. Or erase what you are writing on the board. Nobody is asking you to write anything. Now, what is the first term? What is the first term now?
3.
3, thank you. What is the common ratio?
2.
2. That is, common ratio is 6 divided by 3, or 12 divided by 6, or 24 divided by 12, or 48 divided by 24. That is the common ratio. Thank you. Now, the second one. What is the first term? The Roman figure 2.
7.
7. And what is the common difference? Common ratio?
1/2.
1/2. Thank you. That is 7/2 divided by 7. And you can write that as well. 7/2 times 1/7, which is going to give you 1/2. Or you can also say 7/4 divided by 7/2 is also going to give you 1/2. You can also say 7/8 divided by 7/4 is also going to give you 7/2, and so on. Now, the third one. What is the first term of the Roman figure 3?
1.
1. Okay. What is now the common ratio?
-1/2.
-1/2. It's only one person that is talking. No others. Are you getting it?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. The common ratio is -1/2. Now let's look at example, the nth term. Now, to get the nth term of geometric sequence, just like the way we get for the arithmetic sequence. Now, the nth term of a geometric sequence with common ratio R, and the first term is defined as an equals the first term, which is a1, times the common ratio raised to power of the term, the number of term minus 1. And that your number of term must what? Must be positive, that it must be greater than or equals to what? 1. And your first term must not be equals to 0. If your first term is equals to 0, then it means that sequence is what? Is 0 sequence. If your first term is 0, the sequence is 0 sequence, does not exist. Now let's look at the example. Look at this example. Find the 7th term of the geometric sequence. Find the 7th term of the geometric sequence. Now, how did I know that this sequence is geometry? Who can tell me? How did I know that this sequence is geometry?
The difference is not common.
Thank you. The difference is not the same. Thank you. The difference is not the same. Whenever you are given, sometimes they may not ask you, or they may not tell you that is a geometric sequence, or I can just say find the 7th term of the sequence without telling you that is geometry. The first thing you are going to test is the sequence an arithmetic sequence. If it is not arithmetic sequence, then you check if it is what? Geometric sequence. Now, it is not arithmetic sequence because 20 minus 4 is equals to 16, but 100 minus 20 is not equals to 16. It means the difference is not the same. Now, let's say if it is geometric sequence. 20 divided by 4 will give me 5. Also, 100 divided by 20 will also give me what? 5. Then it is what? It is geometric sequence. Now, I want to get the 7th term of the sequence. The 7th term will be what? A7 equals 4 times, the common difference is 5. 5 raised to power 7 minus 1, which is what? 7 minus, it's going to be 4 times 5 raised to power 6. Do you understand? What is 5 raised to power 6? 5 raised to power 6 is 15,625 times the first term, which is 4 times 4. Then it means the seventh term of this sequence is going to be 62,500. 62,500. Let's look at the solution. You see the solution. The first term is 4. The number of terms, that is the term that we are looking for, is 7. And the common ratio is 5. Then if I substitute into the formula, I have 4 times 5 raised to power 6, which gives me 62,500. Do you understand?
Yes. Sir, can you leave your answers in standard form?
You want to copy?
I said, can you leave your answers in standard form?
It depends on if it is an objective question. It depends on the option. But if it is theory, you can leave it in standard form or you write it out. But most times, don't leave it in standard form unless you are told to do so.
Sir.
Leave it like this.
Okay, sir.
Now, the next, look at this question now. The second example, given the geometry sequence, find the next 2 terms and the 7th term. The next 2 terms of this sequence will be what? The 4th term and the 5th term. Is that not?
Yes, sir.
Well, we are given 1st, 2nd, and 3rd, and they ask us to find the next 2 terms and the 7th term. Now, let's do it. What's the answer? Everybody should do it. Classwork. Do it as classwork. What is the 4th term of this sequence? What is the 4th term of this sequence?
The first time is 45.
Is what? 45. It's not 45. Oh.
The what?
The 4th term is not 45. Oh. If the 3rd time is 45, you said the 4th time is 45.
60.
Sorry, sir. It is not 45.
Is what?
It is
60.
The 4th time is what?
five.
What is the 4th term? They asked us to get the next 2 terms. That is the 4th and the 5th time. What was the 4th term?
135.
135, Abby. Okay, what was the 5th term? The 5th term. The 5th term.
405.
405. Now, what is the 6th term? The 6th term. The 6th term.
1,215.
1,215. Thank you. And what is the 7th term? They asked us to get the 7th term.
3,645.
3,645.
Thank you very much. Now, someone is raising her hand. Mariam Odusin, what's the problem?
3, 4, 5, 6.
Mariam Odusin, any problem?
No, ma'am.
Okay, let's continue. Okay, now we are going to, let me show you the solution. You are correct. This is the solution. Just get your common ratio. The common ratio is just 3. Then you apply the formula to get the time that you want to get. Now let's go to sum. We want to look at sum of the first n time of a geometric sequence. The same way we did for arithmetic sequence, we can also do the sum. We can also sum up geometric sequence. But the summing of geometric sequence is divided into 3 based on your R, your common ratio. You know your common ratio. It is possible that your common ratio is positive, and it's also possible that your common ratio is negative. Do you know that? Now, if your common ratio is less than 1, then the sum of the sequence of the geometric sequence will be the first term into 1 minus the common ratio raised to power number of term divided by 1 minus r. But if the common ratio is greater than 1, then you are going to have the first term multiplied by the common ratio raised to power number of term minus 1 divided by r minus 1. Look at the difference. So don't mistake the difference. If it is less than 1, then 1 will come first because it's less than 1. But if it is greater than 1, then r will come first. Do you see it?
Yes, ma'am.
That is how to find the sum of geometric sequence. The third one we have is sum to infinity. That is, if your all these two is applicable to when your sequence is finite. But if the sequence is not finite, that is infinite, then you sum to infinity. Then sum to infinity is equals to a divided by 1 minus r, since you don't know your number of terms. Do you understand me?
Yes, sir.
I said if you are summing to infinity, you know, when you are summing to infinity, it means you are talking about infinite sequence. That is, you don't know your number of terms. The sum to infinity is a divided by 1 minus r. 1 minus r. But let's look at an example. Look at this sequence. We have 6, 18, 54. Then we want to find the sum of the first 7 terms. That is why I call it x7. Sum of the first what? 7 terms. What did I need to check? I need to get my first term, the common ratio, and to check if the common ratio is less than 1 or greater than 1. Now, what is the first term here? What was my first term?
6.
No, you are not hearing the sound.
What's
Like
my
the girls
first term?
you are not hearing it.
6.
My first time is 6. What is the
You
common
know them there.
ratio?
Outside, come sit down.
3. Now, the common ratio, is it less than 1 or
You give
greater
the
than
sum up.
1?
Greater than 1.
Then, which of the formula am I going to apply out of these 3 formula or the 2 formula you can see on my screen?
The second one.
The second one, that is the first term
second
times, the what?
The second one.
The second one.
Because r is greater than 1. I'm going to have the sum of the sequence equals the first term times r raised to power n minus 1 divided by r minus 1. And it's going to give me what? My n is 7. I have the first term is 6. 6 times the common difference is 3. 3 raised to power what? 7 minus 1 divided by 3 minus 1. What is 3 raised to power 7? What is 3 raised to power 7? 2,187. Do you see it?
Yes, ma'am.
2,187 minus 1.
2,186.
2,186 times 6 divided by 3 minus 2 is what? 2.
6,558.
Divided by 2. The answer is going to give me what? 6,558.
6,558.
6,500, and that is the solution on the board. That is the solution. That is my A, my first term is 6. My common ratio is 18 divided by 6, which is 3, and that 3 is greater than 1. And my number of term is 7. Then if I substitute it, I'm going to have 6,558. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Now, let's now see some of, if I've explained this, if your geometry is what? Is an infinite, then it means the number of terms is not known. And that would be what? Let's say we don't know it. And the sum to infinity will just be what? A, the first term divided by what? 1 minus R. 1 minus R. Do you understand? Any question?
No, sir.
Any question so far?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Eh?
No, ma. No,
Okay,
sir.
but do you understand it?
Yes, sir.
Okay, this is where we are going to stop. I'm going to send an assignment, and on Friday, Mr. Abiono is going to treat past question, while past question with us. Just make sure you understand all the concepts so that whenever you see question, you'll be able to solve it. But I'm going to send an assignment to you. If there is no question, we are going to end the class here. I hope you can get me right.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Take care of
Yes,
yourself.
sir.
Have a wonderful day ahead of you. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.